Alright, let's have a look. So, I did play just to make sure everything was all good. Controls were fine. I did play like a couple minutes, like 2 levels, if even that, just to make sure everything was good. I took a look at the settings. Everything is more or less, to the best of my knowledge, in a good spot. And so this game is somewhat, you'll see very, very quickly too, effectively a combination of, from the outset you see both Dig Dug and Bomberman. And I've seen a few games sort of do this sort of thing where they'll take some existing arcade concepts and have a new take on that. And I think this is like, I want to see more of this type of thing. So this is one of them, and I'm hoping we'll see more as well. So yeah, you play as Rabbit. You have the ability to drop bombs, and you're digging around, and you have some mechanics that you'd find very familiar. And now the interesting thing is that, like, this is not as free as it sounds, because you do have to spend a moment to toss down bombs as well. And what I've heard is that there is well, you see it in the art on the sides. There's a mole you have to also be wary of, because that mole is very angry. Oops. Also that. You're of course going to be vulnerable to your own bombs. So I'll have to get somewhat acclimated to that as well. I heard this mole is extremely vicious, so I gotta keep an eye out. It's gonna be interesting to see as well, like how well do I handle a lot of the scoring and the combo stuff. Because normally I'm not especially great at that. Gotta be very careful too on the way out to not get rocked by the rocks as well, but also by the bombs, because you have, like, your responsiveness to avoid the bombs is like, you need to be on top of things. You need to bail out immediately. Like, dropping a bomb is like you need to change your direction, and you have some leeway. It's not like an executional challenge, but it is a big decision-making challenge. Okay, here's that mole probably. I don't know what to expect of the mole, but I be as careful as we can. Wanted to be a little cheeky and put down this get that rock on him. Kind of curious as well, like how does the gameplay evolve over time? Because while I did play a bit of Dig Dug, oh right, there's a timer too. That's another problem. Good enough. Let's start. While I did play a bit of Dig Dug, I did not play enough to really have a good... I stopped doing that. I did not, I never got very deep into Dig Dug. I played a few different Bomberman games, but I have never played, whoops, I should have gone to the right. Dime Ja. Oh, do you continue from where you left off? Yeah, okay, so full-on regular arcade system. Yeah. Gives me an opportunity to get familiar with some of this stuff. Be way more careful. I think the rocks that are being thrown probably... No, they don't. I was gonna say, I wasn't sure if they set off the bomb sooner, but they don't. Timer is a concern. I wonder if the timer starts to get really, really sharp. Like, you have very little time left. So far, I'm not super scared of the mole. I think the biggest thing is just that, like, over time, my options are gonna get very limited, I think. I'm also kind of curious how much I'm gonna need to push score, like whether it becomes a thing about extends or what. Gonna have to build sort of that basic knowledge of some of the strategy from sort of the core. You know, the Bomberman stuff I think I can kind of wrap my head around. The Dig Dug stuff is like any sort of proper strategy for that I'm gonna have to put together in my head. Okay, hold on a sec. Is that one the one I'm concerned about? Maybe that other one wasn't actually the mole that I'm concerned about. Yeah. Oh, I see. Oh, that's a problem. That's a big concern. Alright. I bet... Oh, yeah, right, I was gonna say. Yeah, I was gonna say, I bet I can't, I bet the bombs don't work on this one. Oh, it even gives you... Yeah, so if you try to drop a bomb on the surface... Yeah, you get, the rabbit shakes his head. It's like, nah. Oh, careful. Oh, okay, I see. So the bombs will never hit the ball. And they're right out of time, too. I hope that's probably just a life, right? Okay. Let's fix this. Much better, okay. Also, I didn't say hi to everybody on the way in. Hey Fida, and hey Mac and Cheese. I know Mac and Cheese is lurking, so I don't want to bother him too much. Very stressful, stressful night, trying to even get ready to stream, and then, that 5th level is rough. Plus, as I was starting up the stream, I'm like following up on like, oh, there was a Windows update, and, you know, do I need to fix my audio settings because Windows update tend to be like that? Windows updates like, hey, I heard you use stereo sound at 48 kilohertz, and wouldn't it be nicer if you had, you know, mono sound at 44 kilohertz? Wouldn't that be nice? And I'm like, nah. Oh, yeah, thought I had a little more time squeezed by there. Windows is very rude. You know, one thing I haven't quite figured out as well is I don't know what the full length of your explosions are. They seem to be really wide. That is a combo. I don't think I planned ahead enough to consistently get all these big combos, but I feel like that's going to be really important. I wonder if you'll ever get any sort of like, you know, temporary like digging speed boost or any manipulation to how your bombs work or anything like that. I think it probably isn't even necessary, but I'm curious. This is what I wanted to do here. Maybe can't do more of that. Timer's got me concerned. Yeah, I need to play this more like you can't turnaround ever. You know? Very, like, race car mode, you know? Can't turn it a dime. Yeah, sometimes you get below, or the bomb does not get you, and I don't know what causes that. Gotta figure that one out. Maybe, you know what it is? Maybe, no, I was gonna say maybe bombs don't go through enemies in a way that gets you, but I think I've still been hit by stuff. I'm gonna look and see like what level of, that goes through the entire tunnel. Maybe it's something like when you're picking up a carrot? If next time I have to restart, I want to go review that tutorial they've got. Just to see even like what they'll tell you. I feel like I missed some crucial details that I haven't quite worked out just yet. I bet you there's some like juicy nuggets of info that I've missed. Oh, I blew up my own, I needed that. I needed that boulder. Aw. Thought I would be cheeky. There we go, that's a 3x. See, now I feel slightly smart. A little bit, teensy bit. Alright, now I gotta come up with a safer strategy for this mole. Yeah, okay, so yeah, some of this is just like, your escape path is not safe anymore. Oh, okay, yeah. There's probably some rhythm to how... Here we go. Here we go. There's probably some rhythm to the movement of that boulder, too. Probably like every opportunity there is to make a turn, always go clockwise or something. Oh, we're doing some shmup stuff? I'm assuming I can't leave bombs here. Oh, it's times too, so be careful. +1 what? What? Aha, here we go, there's... Okay, yeah. That's pretty decent. Alright, at least that freaking, that mole's out of the way for a minute or so. Gotta get some sort of combo strategy here. There's some good combos. Yeah. pretty decent, I think. It'd be interesting to see whether or not I have a rhythm by the time that mole is back. Oh, what was it? 80,000 is the first extend, I take it? Okay, so yeah, you pretty consistently have just enough time for like one, you know, a 90-degree turn, and that's it. Also, I gotta say, I kind of appreciate dismissing the idea of lives as a concept and just making it like health. You know, because if you know, it's like, you know, you have a lot of these arcade games that are like, you know, you die, but you kind of just come back onto the scene anyways. It's like, maybe that should just be considered to be your character's health. That bomb saved me. There's probably some tech there too. You hang out under a rock and are like, screw it. It's gonna, you know. I'll just pop it on the way out. This is definitely another one of those games where I feel I'm kind of woefully under-equipped strategy-wise, and there's gonna be somebody who comes in and dominates this game. You can just feel like any case where there's these combo systems and everything can kind of be lined up that way, there's probably like some big strats for this somewhere. That's fortunate. Progress is being made. Got some time. So yeah, the time pressure isn't as bad as it feels. It's just that freaking mole is like, and the train sound. That mole is a super threat. Oh, there we go. It clipped him. I think I'm starting to adjust. Just a little bit. Probably could have gotten that other carrot on the way down. Nope, oh not. Okay, we got a few. A 10, 13. Better than I thought. I wonder if the next extend then is it 150,000? If it's 80, if it's every 80,000, then it, you know, of course that seemed. Ah, I had to leave you space. Hopefully I get the extend before it's too late, right? It is going to be a while though, I think. There we go. So yeah, there's probably some like, if you run out of the gate real quick, then you will. The combos are like more present than you would expect. They'd be really quick about it, I think. I gotta get a feel for how much your score changes with the combos too. Is it like 100, 200, 400, 800, whatever, and then you're just multiplying... Oh, I got a cursor on the screen. Hold on. Let's fix that. What are you doing? Get out of here, cursor. How dare you occupy space outside of my field of view? I think if an enemy is in the I feel like if an enemy is there to get hit, then you're less likely to, I'm not even sure. Like, the bomb, I guess, doesn't penetrate enemies if that would save you from dying. That seems like the kind of thing that this game, I wouldn't put past this game to implement as a little cheeky trick you could do. One more life left. That was a total flub. I wanted to get some sort of combo happening, but nope. There is another life. Yeah. So 160,000. So so far it's been every 80, but some games have that change. I didn't catch the number. I didn't catch the multiplier, I guess. Maybe it's just like every enemy killed just gives the amount of enemies killed worth as a multiplier, I guess. Maybe? Careful. One of the sounds is a little confusing. I don't know what it is. This has gotten very Pac-Man all of a sudden. Too many angry enemies. Not happy with my carrot collection. Oh, are these dudes only horizontal? Oh. Get the hell out of the way. Yeah, there's a sound that I don't quite recognize. Ooh, careful. No! Close. No! There was nowhere to go. I should have just waited. Alright, well, he's got got that high score. I'm gonna credit feed this one. Just a little bit. And see how far we can go. I think it's gonna be one of those things where, it seemed like the game didn't want you to credit feed past a certain amount, so I don't think you can see the entire game through credit feeding it. But if it's gonna offer me some leniency, that'll give me some time to get acclimated to the later stuff. Oh, right. That's what's going on. That sound is basically when they start tumbling, because I guess they're not fully knocked out or something. Or... I don't know. I don't know what that is. I heard the sound again. It's something distinct. I don't know what it is, though. Is it just a throw on? No. Oops, that was a mistake. What am I doing? Yeah, I think this is where... No, you can still keep... Okay. Maybe there's no restriction on credit feeding. Not entirely sure yet. The dude with the shovel spinning out, though. I gotta figure out what's going on there. Oh, those are worth so much more. Yeah, now that I'm paying more attention, I think. it is worth figuring, like, it is worth taking your time to figure out how to get boulders on top of stuff, because that is a lot of points. Alright. Yeah, I mean, it's at least 4 times the points you would normally get. The numbers seem, like, especially considering, I don't know, like, on the top ends, how well the score is balanced, but, like, at my skill level, it feels very much like this, like, it's worth my time to it's worth the energy to go out of my way. I was hoping I could get that in the middle of that. It's worth my time to figure out some of this stuff, even as somebody who's not good at the game, just to get the extra points there. Like, even to the point of spending more time, because I don't... Unless you can clear a stage in 15 seconds, I don't think it's valuable even as combos. Even getting combos, it's just like dig basically like this, and then just like set up something like that. Like 16,000 is a lot, or 1,600 is a lot. Yeah. I think I'm definitely showing my lack of experience with anything relating to Dig Dug. So then the question ends up being like, just kind of make the rounds and just get everyone upset. So, oh, maybe it's by distance too. You do this, yeah, you do that sort of thing where you like lead them around the entire way up. Do they always follow you? Okay. That's 400 each, I guess, for a short duration one. Some more points than I would normally get. Oop. And I run into my own bomb. I think my genius has failed here. So there's some. Okay, we got some sort of special radish. What is this? Secret bonus stage with radishes. There's other vaguely healthy, not necessarily for rabbits, but in small quantities, foods. Maybe it goes backwards in order of health benefits. Like carrots, like rabbits like carrots, but they're super sugary. Maybe we'll go like towards, I don't even know what, like lettuce? Seeds? I'm not even sure what rabbits eat. Oh no, I didn't leave enough space. Ah. Okay, yeah, I really gotta like, I gotta make the space for these things. Get them to fall. Like this sort of thing, right? And then, I don't even know, I don't have a good plan yet. Oh, well, I mean, that sort of works. I don't want to spend too much time on this, though, because I'm gonna pay for this, I'm sure. It'll be funny if I can get a double, though. That's probably worth a lot too. 2 enemies killed with a single boulder. Perhaps by distance. Maybe if they're unaware. You know, that's probably what it is. It's probably whether or not they're like aggroed or not. If they're angry and they notice, then you probably, that's probably where you get the 400. If they have no idea you're coming, then maybe that's a... Yeah, maybe that's how that works. And then, oh, yeah, that's 1,600. Oh, we got one of them with it. Come on, you. 1,600. Get squished. provide me sustenance in the 4 points. Yeah, so if you can get like 4,000 or 5,000, or I guess 4 or 5 instances of 1600 every single level, maybe not with the smaller rounds, then that seems pretty profitable here. That seems like a pretty regular run into getting consistent. Oops, that's a bad idea. Relatively consistent extends. I would think. You know, honestly, this boulder is probably going to help in that regard too. Well, maybe not. It's funny how like these theories I have. The boulder does not like me experimenting so much. Guess the boulder giveth and taketh away, right? It's a 4. There we go. It's a 4. How much? I didn't even catch the score on that, but that game seemed to like that a lot, so I'll take it. I think I'm learning. I think I'm evolving. Back to carrots. You know, I don't know the last time I've even had a radish. Maybe I should start thinking about that. What's, I mean, I need to eat healthy too, not just the rabbit here. I don't know if there's any good radish. I don't know. Radish included meals or something that's radish based or centered, and I don't know. Probably gonna be one of those things where I have to start looking up like what are popular vegetarian dishes. Gonna come all the way over here? Come here. Then I'm gonna do this one too. Well, I don't know if I can do that one or not. Yeah. Still more points. It's not the 1600. I think I need to let them cool off and then start wandering around again. Score is building up really quickly now that I've started like relying on that. All of the random boulder tricks, I guess. So yeah, there's got to be like a very strong, like, you know, oh, now you start looking for... Yeah, so... stuff like that. At some points. Probably not enough to be spending too much time on all this. Missed a carrot. So I think the strategy with the time bonus is like, if you're good enough to do it in 15 seconds, go for it. Otherwise, just like use the entire timer. You know, don't like waste it, but you know what I mean. I think it's 800 if they're sort of like just noticing something's going on. Like, there's a problem here. And then 1600 if they have no idea what's up. And one more. Well, gotta get this boulder out of the way, and then we'll see about that other one. Well, never mind. No, my boulder strats though. Well, I tried. Gonna get that next extend pretty soon. I think... Oh, yeah, what am I doing? Trying to sneak in there. I definitely think there is... The levels are crafted that there is a, like, quick order. There is some sort of puzzle to it. Oh, no. A boulder, though. There we go. That's a good one. I like that a lot. Oh, I don't like that, though. Gotta, like, get this one aggroed somewhere. You know what? Got another carrot. This could be the end of it. I don't want to spend another continue. Like, if I end up dying here, I'm gonna go back to the start. I think I blew up the baseball or whatever the rock, whatever it is. I think I blew it up with the bomb. I think. Wouldn't be surprised if that's how that works. Not enough good spots here. I'm throwing things at me. Oh, right. I've got to... Okay, that's the other thing I gotta look at. Something changes the distance at which your bombs travel, and I haven't figured this out. Gotta figure that one out. That's a good run. I still think there's like some, like, lead them all together, have them meet in the center, combo them all in one hit after getting all the carrots, and that could be 15 seconds as well, and the combo. I don't know. Oh, I thought I got hit. Okay. About to say. I'll throw it over my boulders. I need those boulders for score. I was hoping for the double. Oh, you know what occurred to me? I didn't even think about that. The life count that you have remaining probably includes your extend. So if you hold on to lives and just get through levels, that's probably another score avenue. What am I doing? Oh, I blew up my thing again too. Oop. Oh, there goes some bonus. Yeah, so it seems like there's a few different, like, good, competent way. Like, one would just be run through levels really quick, run through super safe, and just don't lose lives. And, you know, of course, if you're looking for score per level, maybe, that might be difficult. But if you're saying, well, I just want to get a high score, I don't care how long it takes me to get it, just get through the levels, don't get hit, play super safe, there's probably some value to that. And then the question is, like, is 5,000 per level doing it quickly is, you know, more valuable than getting multiplier, or getting, you know, like, what actually would be... what's a quick choice, or what's a good choice, you know? And I think there actually are multiple viable options, probably. It sure seems like it. It took too long. Like those sorts of like choice ambiguity kind of scenarios are like a really good sign, because that usually means like that's a sign of good design. When it's like each of those feels extremely valuable and viable for, you know, like what's your strategy going to be? Also, I didn't even mention combo strategy as well. There's probably a really strong combo strategy to this that I haven't even explored yet. So timer, boulders, extends, and combo are some distinct strategies. I mean, if you're really good, you could probably combine most of them, you know, but if a player can't juggle every single piece, then I think there's still, like, I like the option of basically saying you have a lot, you can focus on any number of things, and there's viability in all of that. Like, for me, that tends to be one of those things where it's like, if you can give somebody something that engages them, that they're interested in doing, and is an alternative to something that might be obnoxious and difficult for them, that's a sign of good design. Kind of what you saw with Street Fighter 6, where it's like you had the same resource for your drive gauge, right? And what was nice about that is that you know, let's say you're good at playing super aggressive, or let's say you're better at playing more defensive. The drive gauge being the same resource for all these different actions. You know, are you a combo monster, or do you need to like, are you better at, like, you know, alright, well, you know, like, what is an enhance or shore up? And I think this game feels like their combo system is very similar as well. Like, where you have that same, you have, you know, to some degree you have like a limited resource of just like what time you're spending to get through the area, right? And I think maybe there probably are some like top ends, like this gives me great combos and all this other stuff, right? Gotta stop playing bombs under those. They're probably like, okay, well, I can combo like most of the level, and I can beat it in under 15 seconds, and I can get a couple boulder kills. I don't know if it's possible to get a 15-second clear with everybody killed with boulders and combos safely? You know? Like, so... I'm kind of curious if people are, like, picking and choosing the best strategies that work for them. Oh, boulder. Shush. Get out of here. I think that's kind of one of the disadvantages I have with going into these games and watching almost nothing on the way in. I watched like a few seconds of, maybe like, I don't even know, 20 seconds of gameplay just to kind of get a feel for how it moves, as well as, to be honest, I tend to be the kind of person who like wants to hear the soundtrack, like at least a few seconds of like just any random level, just to see what I think about that. Like that's a strong driver for whether or not I'll play a game at all. And this game is it feels very much like musically it's nailing the theme perfectly. Like it's very distinct in what it set out to do. You know, the funny thing is, I don't know if I could even, you know, to any degree, remember what Dig Dug sounded like, and even if it had a soundtrack. Although I probably did play like the Commodore 64 version or something like that, so didn't even know if that version would have had music. Bomberman, of course, has its soundtrack. I think probably the biggest thing I get a kick out of though with this is that the musically is that everything is timed to the, you know, it doesn't feel out of place regarding like, you know, the between the levels you kind of get that build up and it just finishes on time. You know, it's like a small thing. It's not difficult to do. It's something that doesn't get the decision to do it doesn't get made a lot. There's many cases where stuff that could be timed still gets run through like interrupted and go straight to a stinger, but this is like, yeah, like even so even stuff like the what am I doing? Even stuff like the last beat, the silent beat being where the level starts. Like it's not rocket science to do, but I very much appreciate it because it just feels right. You know, it feels better. Feels better than not having it. But I don't think a lot of games will invest in that. I think it's where a lot of these kind of like, let's make a new retro arcade game style of games. Like, I think that's where that's the opportunities they have to shine. Like, not only are they, you know, refining and sort of like, you know, some of them are kind of picking and choosing the gameplay that they want, some of them are refining existing concepts, or both. Refining the presentation, though, I think is like a big deal. And I think all the big sort of, you know, I don't know what you call it, retro homage arcade, you know, style games. I think that's really like your opportunity to do really, really well. Like take the concept, get the visuals right, get the feel right, get all the random things like the attract mode stuff right, get, you know, all that stuff feeling right, and just like tweak the presentation to be like as the feel to be as good as it can be, as well as, like, you know, taking the limited gameplay space that you're kind of allowed to fit just to be accurate to the genre, or to, you know, to the period or whatever. It's Baldur, I don't know what to do with you. And this game definitely feels like they got it right, and that's just super satisfying. Why did I go? Why did I jump back into that? I wanted to see if there was a any sort of like skip a score screen. I guess not. I can see people like being super adamant about, like, I need to be able to like get past the, I need to grind, I need to get back really quickly. That was close. Shouldn't be doing that. I just wanted to get that 15-second bonus. I need to see if this developer's done other stuff too. Whenever you see people doing these, like, you know, very distinct scope style game, you know, where it's like, they know exactly what they're targeting, they know exactly I'm sure, I'm sure there's challenges in making this, especially when you're combining genres. Or, I guess, yeah, I don't know about even, yeah, I guess they are technically separate genres. Because Bomberman, I think, is almost its own genre, right? There's definitely, like, there's some trickiness to getting that to work, but it definitely feels like working in smaller scope, I feel like, is really interesting because it allows you to refine a game extremely well. You're not stuck juggling so much stuff that is difficult to make, to get. It's I would say it's like fewer pieces can make way better games more easily. But nobody wants to do that because people think, oh, a simpler game isn't as cool, and it's like, well, no, it's, I would rather play smaller games that are more refined, and that's why I want to see more games like this. I'm the big AAA projects are so messy. Like, I've worked on them. Seeing sort of just like there's the room to polish, there's room to refine, there's room to give the game more personality. I want to see more of that. There's just not enough of that nowadays. Ran into that one. No, boulder! Get freaking boulder! Get out of here! You know, it's funny. Up until recently, I never even really considered that there were people making these sort of like, anywhere between, it's hard to say exactly what they're intended to be. Arcade tribute games or, arcade revival. I have no idea what you would call it conceptually. But this has been just like a pleasant sort of, I don't know, subgenre, or it's been a very pleasant kind of range of games to look into. Right, yeah. Could not place bombs up top. Kind of playing the safe strats today, right? Like, I'm not... How many boulders here? Can have a single boulder as a treat. Just to get me that extra life. So it must be maybe like 500 per life then. And if that turns out, if I lose a life and a 1500 later, then that starts to become a big deal. Like, that's something I gotta want to investigate. I can't think of a good way to like do any sort of boulder shenanigans here. I really want to though. But if you're getting every 80,000 points, you get an extra 500 per level. That feels like that could, especially if there's no cap to it, then that seems, it probably is. It's probably up to the credits count. It just seems like something that could be, a skillful player could really put that to use. And I want to see how far you can push that. Because if it ends up being, like, a skillful player is getting, like, 5,000 every level without even needing to do 15 seconds, then you're quickly looping the 80,000s, I guess, at that point. I mean, then losing a life doesn't feel that bad, because you'll get it back in just a few levels. You still have to get through, but, it feels like there is a point with a skilled enough player where it's not quite sustainable, but it becomes one of those things where there is like a infinite loop of satisfaction of getting that. I didn't even expect that one. Like, I guess you could call it like the game hits like a critical mass, and you know, it doesn't get out of control, but you hit like max speed or something, you know. It's sort of like some of those games like later. The funny thing is, like, people would always say, "Oh, Castlevania Lords of Shadow, you know, worst Castlevania game, whatever." But it's like there is a bit to it though, right? Because the thing about Lord of Shadow is that it does have some stuff with how their combat works that I really like. They have a system that basically says, look, the longer you chain hits without getting hit yourself, the more you start building, basically sort of a casting resource. And those sort of like, you know, the system. Well, if I finish the stage and get 500, then it's definitely 500 per life. Then in that case. No. Did that? Wait. Oh, right. Right. We ran out of time there. But yeah, I'm definitely feeling that. Like, I'm feeling like if you can collect like 8 reserve lives or some amount like that, and you're just getting, oh, here's the names. Chase, so Baldy, Talpi, Starnose. So Chaser, Thrower, Pesky. That's the name of these characters. And yeah, and I guess the nicknames are very much like very much kind of Pac-Man-esque. I want to see if they have any other notes here for how to. I don't know if they say dropping boulders will. They seem to kind of hint at it, like dropping boulders when they're unaware gives you more points. If they're like if they've just barely become aggro, you get like a mid amount of points. If they're angry and moving at you, then you get, you know, the 400. I still haven't come up with the 1200 though. I don't know what that's all about. But yeah, I mean, this is great. This is like I think the thing that I think I like the most about it is that it's so clean in how it's set up. Walk, alert, chase, and then what does it say? Rock is X4. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. Oh, you know what it is? The individual characters probably are just 100 each, no matter what. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That makes way more sense then. Okay. And maybe the multipliers is like, if they're all killed at the same time, then whatever you were going to get gives you a multiplier on that, which means getting a combo with you know, dropping a rock. If you hit 3 with a rock, it's like if they're unaware, it's going to be 1600 potentially times 3 for each character. Or it might be like 1600 and then, you know, twice that and then 3 times that. Having these like really cleaned up games, because they're these short scope games that have more time afforded for refinement, I very much have been enjoying.